Yo, this shit OP.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, teachers, administrators, parents, family, and graduating class of 2023. It is an absolute honor to be here today to speak to you on such a momentous occasion. Winston Churchill said, "A good speech should be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject, but short enough to create interest."
Oh my.
I will certainly do my best to follow that sound advice. Today I want to talk to you about truth. The truth is, for the first time in American history, this generation, Generation Z, your generation, will inherit this country worse off than the previous generation. The truth is, there's an ideology in this country that denies truth and will silence viewpoints that it disagrees with. Freedom of speech is one of the foundational principles that this country was built on. And it's one of those freedoms that the rest of the world does not enjoy. It is not the speech that we agree with that needs protecting. It's the speech that we disagree with that needs protecting at all cost. Calvin Coolidge said, "The issues of the world must be met and met squarely. The forces of evil do not disdain preparation. They are prepared and always preparing. The welfare of America, the cause of civilization, will forever require the contribution of some part of the life of all of our citizens to the natural, the necessary, and the inevitable demand for the defense of right and the truth. Without truth, everyone will do what's right in their own eyes. Without the truth and the ability to debate what that truth is, we will lose every God-given freedom that we have all been blessed with in this country. The Bible says, truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue is but a moment. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Thomas Paine said, "He who dares not offend cannot be honest." Now, I'm certainly not saying you should intentionally go out and offend others, but sometimes the truth does offend, and it's much better than remaining silent. Burke says, "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing."
My name is Davis, and I'm stupid.
Americans have remained silent for far too long, and we are watching our rights being stripped from us. Because of our silence, the boomer generation has failed America. My generation has failed America. The millennial generation is failing America. Thomas Paine said, "It is the duty of every man, as far as his ability extends, to detect and expose delusion,
illusions, blaspheming the Lord in your mind and in your heart for some wrong done to you by another person,
and error." Now, I know some of you are thinking right now that graduation speeches are supposed to be uplifting and inspiring and not doom and gloom and completely depressing. So let not your hearts be troubled. I will get to that now. Winston Churchill said, "To each there comes a time in their life, a special moment when they are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do a very special thing, unique to them and fitted to their talents. What a tragedy if that moment finds them unprepared or unqualified for that which could have been their finest hour." Class of 2023, right now, as you graduate today, America is tapping you on the shoulder for what could be your finest hour. It is now up to Generation Z. It is up to each one of you. And of course, you are prepared for this challenge, this school, all these amazing teachers, administrators, coaches, and support staff. They have prepared you for such a time as this. Because America is free, you can choose whatever career you want and be the best you can be with hard work and determination. Because you are an American, you can come from nothing and be successful in whatever manner you define success.
Yes. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
As I look into the eyes of each one of you, I see optimism, passion, and determination. America has been down and out before, like in the freezing winter of Valley Forge, but Americans overcame and freed us from the tyranny of Great Britain. Like in the early morning hours of December 7th, 1941, but Americans overcame in our factories as well as our military might. And we forced our adversaries to surrender and led the world to freedom. Like during the depths of the Great Depression, but Americans overcame by drastically reducing the size of the federal government after World War II and unleashing American industry from the socialist restraints that were imposed during the 1930s, which set us on a trajectory that leads to the world still to this day. Winston Churchill said, "Socialism is a philosophy of failure." The creed of ignorance and the gospel of envy. Its inherent virtue is the equal sharing of misery. In America, you don't need a politician to promise you something in order for you to succeed. As Americans, you don't need the government to put you in groups based on arbitrary man-made definitions, tell you all your problems are because of some other group, as they have defined them, and then tell you that you need them in order to succeed. George Orwell said, "These people don't see that if you encourage totalitarian methods, the time may come when they will be used against you instead of for you." Class of 2023, because of you, just as Abraham Lincoln said in the Gettysburg Address, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people by the people shall not perish from the earth. Graduates, because of you, America will not only survive but thrive again. Friends, I'm telling you, the more we move away from the founding principles of our society, we will degrade and fall into absolute depravity. Daniel Webster said, "But if we and our posterity reject religious institutions and authority, violate the rules of eternal justice, trifle with the injunctions of morality, and recklessly destroy the political constitution which holds us together, no man can tell how sudden a catastrophe may overwhelm us." Ladies and gentlemen, at that point, anarchy commences and the totalitarian police state will take over. And we no longer will have a government instituted among men, deriving its just powers from the consent of the governed, as stated in the Declaration of Independence. In his speech to West Point in 1962, Douglas MacArthur said, "Duty, honor, country, Those three hollowed words reverently dictate what you ought to be, what you can be, what you will be. They are your rallying points. They build courage when courage seems to fail, to regain faith when there seems to be little cause for faith, to create hope when hope becomes forlorn. Ronald Reagan once said, "We cannot escape our destiny, nor should we try to do so." The leadership of the free world was thrust upon us 2 centuries ago in that little hall of Philadelphia. In the days following World War II, when the economic strength and power of America was all that stood between the world and the return to the Dark Ages, Pope Pius XII said, "The American people have that great genius for splendid and unselfish actions. Into the hands of America, God has placed the destinies and afflicted mankind." Class of 2023, this is your destiny. This is your finest hour. You have prepared for this your entire lives, and we all are counting on you. I want to end by reciting the words of an American hymnal. In 1831, while a student at Andover Theological Seminary, Samuel Francis Smith wrote, "My country, 'tis of thee." And here are the words. "My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. My native country, thee, land of the noble free, thy name I love. I love thy rocks and rills, thy woods and templed hills. My heart with rapture thrills, like about above. Let music swell the breeze and ring from all the trees, sweet freedom's song. Let mortal tongues awake, let all that breathe partake. Let rocks their silence break, the sound prolong. Our fathers, God, to thee, author of liberty, to thee we sing. Long may our land be bright with freedom's holy light. Protect us by thy might, great God, our King. And may the Lord bless you and keep you. And may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.